Anyways, speaking of prototyping, I've been hitting React server components pretty hard, and I've been prototyping a new website for this show, for the ReactShow.com, based on Next.js 13 server components. So today I wanted to talk more about that experience, and also, unlike in some of the other episodes on this topic before, discuss more in depth some of the complications and potential downsides of React utilizing server components. I have a much better understanding of them now, and what the potential landscape might look like. So it seems like the right time. First up, though, I just want to talk about the design goals of the new website. You know me. That's where we got to start, right? And first, I want to talk about the old website and some of the issues we had there and stuff I'd like to design better in the new one. So the old website was actually hosted on Squarespace. We threw it up real quickly, didn't have time to code things, and it's been there ever since. It wasn't great for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest ones being it had a lot of duplicate work for me. So we host the feed for the actual episodes on a service called Buzzsprout, which handles syndicating the episodes and everything. But there's no connection between that and Squarespace. So I had to manually copy and paste data, and it wasn't structured. It was hard to work with, easy to make mistakes, that type of thing. I think Squarespace is kind of expensive. Another reason why, I'd like to get off of them. It's also really difficult to customize, and just a lot of user experience issues. I wanted better playback integration for listening to episodes on the website. On Squarespace, kind of the best I could do is embed episodes, and it wasn't great. But it also didn't. It has a members section, but I really want to create a much better sort of premium member section for the React show. Not something I've really talked a lot about yet. Been sort of prototyping it on Patreon. But yeah, the idea is I want to make it so that the show can be sustainable, and to do it in a way that provides value for the people that are sustaining the show. And so I have a lot of great ideas, but not easy to carry out on Squarespace. I've tried dabbling with Patreon, and I don't think it does a very good job for podcasts either. And for, the things that I wanted to do with it, maybe having premium feeds and, anyways, I don't really know what this is going to look like. If you're interested, I'd love to hear from you if there's anything you're looking for. But I'd love to create, a really awesome, community around the show, and just provide a lot of value for anyone that's interested. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. I've been calling it kind of the after show so far, but we could call it the reactors, the nuclei. I don't know, come up with some fun names, right? But yeah, anyways, that's sort of a side tangent. But I do want the new site to be able to support those type of features. And yeah, so I also wanted the new site to, like I mentioned, have better audio player integration, so you could, listen to episodes more easily and in a better format, have better support for transcripts. I've also been working on that recently. If you go to the ReactShow.com, you'll see we do have some transcripts for recent episodes, which I'm really excited to have. And I'd like to have better support for that. Show notes, that kind of thing, just better, overall integration with the podcast. So those are the overall design goals. Of course, for me, I want it to be fast and good user experience, that type of thing. And, now that I'm recording this episode, I've actually deployed it. So you can go check it out. The ReactShow.com currently is now running on React server components in Next.js 13 that I deployed to my own server. Let me know what you think. It's still very much a prototype. It's not great code, doesn't have great test coverage, but I'm still trying stuff out. We'll get there. I'll include a link also to the source code, which is really bad, but if you're curious, you could definitely check that out. So yeah, the next step will be the process of actually creating this site and what I went through and that experience. So the first premise, I guess, is I didn't have much time to do this. I just don't. I don't have the budget to spend weeks on it. So I wanted to try to get it done as quick as I could. And so I actually started with a Tailwind podcast template. So they have some templates up now. And they had a podcast one, and I checked it out, and it seemed cool enough. Definitely like it would save me time. So yeah, I got that template. And also I wanted to experience porting, something to React Server components. And this template was not made for React Server components. It's made for traditional React. And so I could get that experience. So it seemed good. And I'll talk a little bit also about why Tailwind. So I haven't used Tailwind extensively. I've used it a little bit, but I wanted to get a better experience with it because it's so popular. I like to have experience with things, I'll be honest, I'm not super excited about it. I don't know if I think it's a whole lot better than, some of the other things I was using. But part of the problem with the other things I was using, which were the more common component libraries like Chakra UI, Material UI, that kind of thing, is they're based on CSS and JS libraries, which just don't work with server components yet. And they might not ever, at least in their current form. And Tailwind is nice because the classes are specified up front. And so you can send the content and the classes to the browser all, in the same request. And so essentially you can get content and styles all up front instead of having just sending the content and then later styling it, getting that white page with all that text. You can just get a nice styled page up front. I was like, that's a better user experience. I like that. I want that. So yeah, that's why I decided to go with Tailwind. So